When I found that there was a show called AWE Night of Legends, you know what my first thought was? Sounds like Heroes of Wrestling. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. We're going to do a one-off review here because tonight I'm going to be looking at AWE Night of Legends. Now I found this show just while I was just looking for something to watch on Netflix. I saw AWE Night of Legends, a wrestling show I've never seen before, thinking, fuck it, this will be fantastic. You know, went and found the card online and just thought, oh, that looks interesting. You know, on paper, the card has got a couple of matches that could be good, yeah? But the majority of them look like they're either one of two categories that on paper sound good and probably will be shit, or that guy's not a legend. You know, on a Night of Legends, there's a lot of people on this card that I've never heard of, for example. I've got a challenge for each and every one of you watching this video right now, which is basically to go and watch it. Because you can find this show on Netflix like I did, but I'm amazed to find that the show in its entirety is available here on YouTube. There's a link to it down below if you're, well, if you need something as background, if you're bored and fancy torturing yourself. Tell you something, I reckon the best time to watch this show, right, would be to get your mates round, get a case of ale and watch this show. Because you'll laugh your ass off at it, I'm absolutely guarantee that. Do you know what AWE stands for? Go on, have a guess, because I bet you're wrong. Have a guess while I'm opening the can. No. Way better than that. AWE stands for Awesome Wrestling Entertainment. Fantastic. Now, with a name like that, this show, I'm sure, is going to be the single greatest show, the single greatest wrestling pay-per-view I've ever watched. On commentary, you've got some guy called Chris Cruz, along with Dirty Dutch Mantel, who we all know and love today as Zeb Coulter, and the living legend Larry Zbyszko, which is nice, sounds like a riot. And apparently we are sold out. Now, before I go on, one thing that I will say in praise of this show is its production values are infinitely better than Heroes of Wrestling. I know Heroes of Wrestling took place in 1999 and technology and cameras and all that. Right now on your bikes has come on leaps and bounds since then, trust me on that one. But yeah, production values, if nothing else, are alright. Let me just turn the light on. The sun's on me on a fucking cloud, so in our opening contest, Tommy Dreamer defeats Terry Funk in an absolutely rubbish no disqualification match. On paper, this one looks like it should be good. Tommy Dreamer versus Terry Funk. Apparently, this match has never taken place. It was meant to take place in 1999, but for some reason it didn't. So this is a first time meeting. And you're thinking to yourself, cool, fantastic. Now, this wasn't meant to be the first match, but apparently both men went and demanded that they go on first. I've no idea why you would make that demand. Why not demand? Yeah, I would understand it if you went to the promoter and say, I demand that I'm in the main event. So yeah, I can get that. I demand we go on first. Like what? Have you got a plane to catch or something else that you're too busy doing? Anyway, Terry Funk's clearly the heel here. He comes out and acts like a heel, yeah? He acts like a heel, tells the cameraman to get out of his face and shit like that, yeah? But then, cuts a babyface promo on Tommy Dreamer telling him that he's known him for years and all that. And then guess what he does? Have a guess. Yeah, you bang on, whacks Tommy Dreamer with the microphone. Because he's a heel, obviously. Tell me something like that. There is literally nothing to this match at all. There is one high spot, which is the welcome appearance of the caffeinated water of doom. It's a no disqualification match. The only thing that is hardcore in this no disqualification match between two hardcore legends is a drop toe hold onto a chair. Yay! And then, get this, yeah, there's a roll up. Dreamer rolls Funk up, yeah, and gets the win. And you sat there with both Dreamer and Funk and the referee going, was that meant to be the finish? And then the referee gets bumped after the bell by Terry Funk. And, well, that's that, really. Awful start to the show. And then, so to make it just a little bit better, some guy called Chris Graham talks to Jamin Olivencia, who, of course, is a surefire legend that I've never heard of. Graham is fucking atrocious interviewer. Awful. And Jamin claims that Dutt wishes he was him. That's the gist of the promo. Meanwhile, because they have to have 2 interviews per match, yeah, Bill Apter, the legend that he is, talks to Sonjay Dutt, and who basically counters all the points he just made. So Jamin Olivencia defeating Sonjay Dutt in a meh match. Jamin isn't great, right? He's shouting his name to get heat. Now, I know a guy who may feature on some of my posters who is prone to shouting his own name, but every time he does it, it gets a reaction, yeah? When he shouts out, Dave Rain, everyone goes, Dave Rain, or boos, yeah? Jamin Olivencia gets nothing. In fact, it's just really irritating that he keeps saying his own, and his name's so fucking long. At least Dave Rain is only 2 syllables. Olivencia doesn't really roll off the tongue nicely. Everything Sonjay Dutt does, that's a bit of a mouthful, looks good in this one. You know, as you can probably imagine, he does really nice moonsaults to the outside, for example. But there's a match like this for me feels like an X Division title match, or an X Division match on Impact, which is where the match is alright, it's nothing special, but there's nothing memorable from it. And 2 minutes after the X Division match on Impact is finished, you've forgotten all about it. A week later, you're like, yeah, there was a good match on Impact last week, an X Division match, what happened in it? I don't really remember. You know, it's that sort of one. You've got to love the finish of this one though. When Jamin accidentally strikes the ref, right, seizing the moment, he boots Sonjay Dutt in the bollocks, right? No problem with that. That's a heel thing to do. And then, right, he hits, well, something on Sonjay Dutt. I say something because the camera crew are too busy focusing on the referee than what's happening in the ring. So he wins with something, which is lovely. Why? I don't want to see the move. Why would I? So that was a 1-star match because I'm nice. We see footage of Kevin Nash and the Rock and Roll Express contract signing. I get this shit. I love this about pay-per-views like this. Ricky Morton gets on the mic and says, people are always asking me why I hate Kevin Nash. Well, go on the internet and type into Google, Ricky Morton hates Kevin Nash, and you'll see why. Now, I've never seen Ricky Morton shoot. I assume that he talked about Kevin Nash. But as someone who's never seen it, who's tuning into this pay-per-view, has no idea what the fuck their issue is here. I'm relying on you, Morton, to sell me the pay-per-view. Telling me to go and watch something on the internet is not selling the pay-per-view that I'm already watching. For fuck's sake. You know. Anyway, Chris Graham, he's great, talks to C.W. Anderson about his match with the returning Perry Saturn. He claims that the city, because they're in Detroit, I think, are they? They're in Perry Saturn's hometown, wherever they are. I've forgotten already. I'm sure it says down here. Yeah, they're giving him a ticker tape parade and the key to the city. And he's just like going, what? Because he's returning to the ring after, what, 7, 8 years away? You know, Perry Saturn spent time homeless. He was addicted to crystal meth, for goodness sake. He's got a giant tattoo across his face that he claims he has no memory of getting, for example. But a ticker tape parade and the key to the city for doing nothing at all. I don't believe that for a second. Meanwhile, Bill Apter, who's with Perry Saturn. Now, they have match graphics, yeah, for each match, obviously. And the match graphics are obviously, the pictures in the graphics are of the guys in their prime. So Perry Saturn's is when he was about 2000, you know, so and of course, he now looks nothing like that. You'll see that again later on with Ricky Morton. I'm happy that he's got himself off drugs. But he comes out with a truly wonderful promo. Absolutely wonderful. And this is verbatim. That's exactly what he said. C.W. Anderson, he may kick my ass, but he's going to have to. And walks away. And you're like, I don't know what that means at all. I have no idea at all. Perry Saturn defeating C.W. Anderson in a meh match. Right, we were joined on commentary by some guy called Rick Garrison, and he's the president of the AWE, apparently, and he spends the whole time bickering with Dutch Mantel, which is lovely. Rick winds me up, Rick basically winds me up by not answering. Basically, Dutch asks him a load of questions, right? And this president guy just comes out with the same spiel over and over and over again. It's been 9 years since Perry Saturn last wrestled. He's in really good shape. And then he asks a question, and he's answered exactly the same. Exactly the same. So irritating. Perry looks alright. Everything he does looks alright, but it looks like he's doing it in slow motion. Does a really nice belly-to-belly suplex at one point. Really, really slow motion. At one point he does a suicide dive, eats some chair. Honestly, those are the highlights of the match. There is nothing to it. Saturn uses a roll-up to get the win. Half a star! if you're very, very nice. And then, I'm sure if you've seen this paper, you know what's coming and you know you've been looking forward to this one. In the back, Chris Graham talks to a guy, yeah? His name is Mohammed Akbar. Mohammed Akbar. Have you ever heard such a generic name than that? A generic heel foreign gimmick as Mohammed Akbar. Naturally, Akbar looks American and speaks with a perfect American accent, which is just funny. We see footage of him cutting a generic Arabian heel promo about oil. Then he says why he hates America, and you can probably guess why. You know, yada 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 yada. You know. Bill Apter then, fuck that. The important thing is that Bill Apter talks to Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who may be drunk, and he says, and this is a direct quote, trust me, everything that you're about to hear in this promo is what he says, and just listen to this. He says he's been all over the world, but don't mistake kindness for weakness, because when you come to the ring and the fans are chanting USA, he'll give us a little hint. He'll be in the back lacing up his boots. The hair will stand up on his neck. The blood will pump in his heart. The air will pound through his lungs, and he'll listen to the people chant USA. Sometimes people ask if he gets tired of it, and he shouts, "Tired of it!" It's his lifeblood. And after you've spoken on the mic, Akbar, look at the dressing room door, because he will come to the ring as I will come to the ring and do what I do best, beat people up. And you're sat there with you. Yeah, I'm watching this. What? I mean, really what? Don't mistake, I've been all over the world, but don't mistake kindness for weakness. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Because when you come to the ring and the fans are chanting USA, right, and then he pauses, so he goes, because when you come to the ring and the fans are chanting USA, I'll give you a little hint. I'll give you a little hint. Because I'll be in the back lacing up the whole thing. Please go and watch this pay-per-view. Please, please, please go and watch this pay-per-view. See if you can figure out the fuck he's saying. Anyway, Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Mohammed Akbar in an awful match. Because there's more to see. Because one promo where he's spouting bollocks just isn't enough. Oh, no. So Akbar gets on the mic and is booed to hell and says there are 3 reasons to hate him. 1, he's tanned and jacked. Now, tanned, you're meant to be an Arab, for goodness sake. So you're not tanned at all. Oh, he's rich. Number 2, he's rich because of America's addiction to oil. We don't get to hear reason number 3 as Duggan appears on the video screen. Says it's one thing to diss me, but it's another thing to diss the American flag, which Akbar didn't, which is strange. Anyway, that's another thing altogether. Now, I don't get it. I just don't get it at all. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Match is entertaining if you like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, which I don't. So, 5 minutes too long. Akbar gets 1 move in, and that's our sleeper. Duggan wins with a 3-point stance, which is lovely. Chris Graham then talks to Alex Silva. Alex Silva, you may remember as one of these. I think he won the gut check, didn't he, recently on TNA, or about a year ago. Anyway. Alex Silva, who sounds like he may be a touch mentally retarded because he says, keeps blowing his tongue out. He says he's going to kill Fit Finley. Fit Finley talks to Bill Apter, and actually, as the only person on the show, yeah, who actually puts his opponent over before saying he's going to go and demolish him. And then Alex Silva defeated Fit Finley in an okay match. Well, where to start here? Silva is billed as the loose cannon. That's why he said, oh, and he's got a manager with him. He's got the beautiful, delicious, and yeah, I'd still fuck her, to be honest, Tammy Cinch, which is lovely. She cuts a promo, because obviously we've had 2 promos already, and that's just not enough. She says the fact that she's a Hall of Famer, and how Silva is the future of pro wrestling, which is lovely. On paper, this could be alright. I actually underlined the word could there. Now, I haven't mentioned the crowd at this point. I should have done, I probably should have done. Haven't mentioned the crowd this, so far, they've been quite up and down, to be honest. They've maintained a decent amount of noise. They were so mental for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You wouldn't believe how much they fucking love that guy. In this one, though, the curse of technical wrestling raises its ugly head, as the crowd don't give a fuck at any point when it goes to the mat. And if you've got a mat wrestler like Fit Finley in there, it's going to go to the mat a lot. At one point, Fit Finley gets whipped into the turnbuckles, and it looks like he's got a knee injury. Now, Alex Silva, being the heel bastard that he is, works over the knee, and of course, the crowd don't give a shit at at all. This match lasts, the thing about this match is it lasts 22 minutes. It's the longest match on the card by a country mile, yeah. The problem is, it feels, from a viewer's point of view, like they've got about 5 minutes of content and made it into a 22-minute long match. They're so long. I mean, I love technical wrestling. You know I love it. And you know that I love it when a man works a body part. But when they're working the body part, it just puts them in a move and then just holds it for ages. Doesn't wrench it or anything. Just holds it and holds it and holds it. Anyway, the crowd didn't give a shit in the slightest. Tammy grabs the leg as Finley goes for a Celtic cross. Ref gets rid of her. Low blow by Silva and a roll-up gets the win. Best match of the night by so far. It's a 1.5-star match. It would turn out to be the best match of the night. But, so, still crap. Silva has a bleeding nose. In the back, he cuts a retarded promo. Finley cuts a shouty promo after. Because, I mean, in total, for that match, there were 5 promos. Not needed. And then we get a special attraction match. Oh, yes. And this one makes me sit up and down. No, it's a special attraction match on a Night of Legends. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Short Sleeve Sampson, motherfuckers. Short Sleeve Sampson defeating Shango in a nothing. This is billed as a special attraction match, like I say. Not sure why. I'm not sure who they're trying to impress by saying that it's a special attraction match, because I've not heard of either of these two men. The crazy thing about it is the commentators know nothing about this match, other than saying Chris Cruz, who has been woeful on commentary all night, just so poor. But he says that there's some spare time, so they're throwing this match out there. So why say it's a special attraction, for fuck's sake? Short Sleeve Sampson doesn't just wear short sleeves. Oh no, he is a midget who raps. Why the fuck not? Shango is basically Papa Shango sort of deal. The commentators spend more time on this match talking about whether allowed to say midget, whether it's politically correct to say midget on pay-per-view, than talking about the match. Honestly, I promise you that's true. The match itself is comedy. It's midget versus normal person match. Bit too long for my liking. Sampson does a move called the Inchworm, which is a to the dot rip-off of Scotty Too Hotty's worm, yeah. Absolutely, I mean, everything about it is the same. And he wins with a suicide dive, an X-Factor, and a frog splash. Mildly entertaining match, I've put in my notes. And then we see footage of Kevin Nash taking out Ricky Morton with a chair. Then footage of some guy called Marvin Ward, who's never explained who he is, getting demolished by the Rock and Roll Express. Then the Midnight Express come out. These two teams have been feuding for years, and they beat up Marvin Ward as well because they can. Marvin Ward, I don't know who you are, but that's unlucky, mate. DDP, of all people, makes the save. In the back, Kevin Nash talks to Bill Apter. He cuts a truly boring promo that doesn't really go anywhere other than to say Morton equals pain. And then, the main event, a decade in the making. Ricky Morton, by the sounds of it, did a shoot promo 10 years ago, where one of these shoot bids, where he ripped Kevin Nash. Basically, as far as I can tell, it's because Kevin Nash is all about money, whereas Ricky Morton loves the business, but Kevin Nash is just all about the money. That's what I can tell. So it's supposed to be Kevin Nash and a mystery partner versus the Rock and Roll Express. Now, there can only be 2 possible outcomes for the mystery partner, because on the opening package of this pay-per-view, we saw all the legends who were going to be involved in the show. 2 names we have not seen on this show. The first one was Lita, the second one was DDP. Now, I can't see Lita, no offence to Lita, but being in the main event, so it's obviously going to be DDP, isn't it? Oh! How many bumps will Kevin Nash take? I'm going to go with my usual 3. Oh, yes, I am. Of course, the mystery partner is DDP, Destiny's Street Clothes, which is a bit strange. The match goes a whole 1 minute before Marvin Ward comes out. So we've got a president, and we've got Marvin. I don't know what Marvin Ward's role is in this company at all. Trust me, I don't. Marvin Ward gets rid of Gibson, gets rid of DDP, why not, and makes it a singles match, a no disqualification match. And there's more. Ward gets rid of the referee as well and brings out a special enforcer. And do you know who it is? He's a fucking legend. Former NWA champion. Yeah, it's Ronnie fucking Garvin. So you spend months advertising this tag match. It's the Rock and Roll Express versus Kevin Nash and his mystery partner. 1 minute of match. Some guy who you've no idea about, because this is their first ever pay-per-view, and it's not explained who he is. He's just Marvin Ward. My God, they're beating up Marvin Ward. And you meant to go, who? Oh yeah, Marvin Ward. Shit, man, Marvin Ward's getting beat. Oh God, Nash batters Morton, busting him open. Morton makes a comeback with punches. Kevin Nash goes down, but sort of gets beat down. That isn't a bump. Then Nash comes back with a chokeslam. Nash then gets on the mic, demands to know what Morton's problem is. Morton calls Nash an asshole who doesn't love the business. Nash says, I do love the business. Do you reckon I would have had 30 surgeries if I didn't love the business? They shake hands, right? And then, in one of my favourite moments of this pay-per-view, Kevin Nash hits the jackknife powerbomb. Yeah, guess what Chris Cruz calls it? Have a guess. Go on, please, while I have another swig, please have a guess. What's the most out there thing that you could call a jackknife powerbomb? Yeah, Chris Cruz, this may be the first time he's ever watched wrestling, and he's just got a list of moves. Because he calls it a power slam. Because it's easy to confuse the two. Just ask Michael Cole. Nash then cuts a promo and says, yeah, of course it's all about the money. But while you people are still buying my dolls and t-shirts, the economy will be down and people are suffering, but I'm not one of them. And then he leaves in a no disqualification match, yeah? He leaves. He doesn't bother pinning his opponent who's hit with the jackknife powerbomb, because that would just be fucking stupid, wouldn't it? Why would he? So he leaves. So in a no disqualification main event, yeah, Ricky Morton wins by a count out. Like, oh my goodness me. I was so thinking, right, when I started watching this match, yeah, I just made a point of quickly noting through all my scores, and while we've got a few duds on this one, there was nothing in the dreaded minus figures. So that meant that just by right, this one was infinitely better than Heroes of Wrestling. This one, -1 star, is awful. Just atrocious match. Compared sounded strange. Compared to Heroes of Wrestling, honestly, night and day. But this is still a genuinely terrible pay-per-view. Match-wise, they're all awful. Nothing getting above 1.5 stars. Chris Cruz on commentary, I should have mentioned him a lot more. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. If he didn't have Dutch Mantel and Larry Zbyszko with him, I dread to think what the commentary would have been like. I really do. So, and Chris Graham, the interviewer, clearly this was his first time ever interviewing someone. AWE, Awesome Wrestling Entertainment, doesn't live up to its billing, right? I'll tell you this much. This is a truly crap pay-per-view, and I mean, if you're in a very good mood like I am right now, I'm going to give this pay-per-view, yeah, 1 out of 10. I'm in a very good mood. 1 out of 10. But anyone else, surely, you've got to give this one 0. If you got this far into this vid and haven't watched this pay-per-view, I am begging you, please, please, please go and watch this show. Because you'll laugh. You'll laugh your ass off at certain bits of this show. Trust me, you will. I don't know if the Awesome Wrestling Entertainment ever did another pay-per-view. I kind of hope they did, because I'd like to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've loved doing this vid for you. I really have. It made me chuckle quite a lot. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back on Tuesday for a Raw review. I've been Mark P, and I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys.